What's up guys, Phone here with another tutorial which I've recorded about 4 times and I'm getting a bit annoyed at it now. But I'm going to do it in 2 parts. Because it's quite a long one and it's in advanced facial expressions as such. So, while my C4D is loading, basically what I'm just going to run through is basically eyebrows, mouth, cheeks, stuff like that. Just individually, just to get you sort of a feel on advanced face animation. So, I am going to I'm going to open a model and I'm going to use Hitler. I love Hitler. No, I'm joking. Anyways, he is not here. Sniper Elite V2, that's it. Hitler. Mr. Tashboy. Anyways, as you can see, I've already started to do it. But yeah, we'll just get rid of that. We'll just reset to base pose. And then we will delete it. Right, what we're going to have to do now, you'll probably start off similar to this. Just to start things off, if you've got hypernerves on, something like this, I would not recommend it. Because when you... I'll show you why. Because what you're going to have to do is, I'll just turn it off and we'll just carry on. You want to click on your model, and you want to right click, and you want to go to character tags, post, morph. And then just click points, and then you're all set. You can come back to that whenever you want. When you want to select your points, you'll come to this sort of the left-hand sort of buttons here, and you'll select points, so you can sort of select an individual point. You don't want lines or anything, because we set points because it's a lot easier, in my opinion. But yeah, so we'll be adjusting the points, so you need that selected and nothing else. If you have a hypernerves on, there are a shitload more things, going on. And, you don't need none of that shit. Look at, that will do. So my advice to you is don't put hypernerves on it. Unless, if you do need hypernerves on it, switch it off like that. Edit what you need to, and then just add it on at the end. And then, jobs are good. So what we're going to start off with is the eyebrow. So, as we can see here, his eyebrow is just above his eye, where it usually is. Don't know why the fuck I just said that, but yeah. If you want to click on your little pose morph tag, now obviously we've got a base pose. You want to leave that as it is, and just click on pose 1. Now we can change this one because it's already got a base pose selected, and the base pose is this. So we can always come back to it if need be. Say we fuck up, we can start again. If we don't have that, then we're fucked if we make a mistake. So what you're trying to do is just go to pose. No, make sure you're on edit. Click on your object and make sure the points is selected. Oops. And what we can do now is select the points to move. So what we need to do, we want to move, say, the eyebrows up. We'll do one eyebrow, and I'll show you why. One little movement, sort of. How do I put this into words? Okay. For every pose, it's like, so I'm going to lift this eye up. That'll be pose number 1. This eye up, pose number 2. So if I just show you roughly, and I mean roughly, select the points for pose 1. Lift them up. It's really rough. Sorry. I will come back to it, alright? And then click on base pose, add pose, and then select the other eyebrow. And just lift that up. Select base pose, add pose again, and this time select hold shift and select both of them. So then, what we've basically done is pose 0 is sort of this eyebrow. Pose 1 is this eyebrow, and pose 2 is both of them. Now, when you come to animate it, if I just select set these out all down to 0. When you come to animate, if you do, like I have in pose 2, both eyebrows, and you want you lift them up. Say you want one to lift up higher than the other, you can't adjust it, so you're a bit buggered. So my advice to you is do not do two things the same, like I have here. Keep one a pose for each sort of selection, so you can lift that one up as high as you can, but you might want to lift this one up slightly, and you can animate that as much as you want, and then you can do a little dance. I don't know. So I'd put a pose for one sort of thing on his face. So maybe a pose for a left wink, a pose for a right wink, a pose for a left eyebrow. But we'll go through that as we sort of get onto it. Right. So now I'll just reset. Add pose. What we're going to do now is we're going to lift this eyebrow up. So what we want to do is look at the thickness of his eyebrow basically, and just find the points sort of around it. What we're going to do is we're going to select the points that go through his eyebrow, which really roughly is around about those four. And then what you want to do is just want to hold shift and grab the ones below it. And I'll do the ones above it as well. We will do that. So this is sort of the area where the eyebrow is. And then just like sort of move these up by using the parameters here. Just up. But as you can see here, we've left some behind. And it does look stupid. For example, here. But, just click on that one where it's like really close and sort of put it in the middle of all these points. So it gives it a bit more space. Just like this one. This is sort of, that might be better if it was sort of in the middle of all these. Where else? So far, it is looking alright, just for the eyebrow. But if we just come to edit and we just bring this sort of strength tab, we can see what any adjustments need to be made. Now, I think that's alright for now. Obviously, what you might want to do, you might want to rotate it slightly, or have the sort of the right side of the eyebrow lift higher than the left side. So what you want to do now is just select the points around the right side, which is roughly about here, and then lift them up. And again, making sure everything else is nice and sort of tidy as well with it. Making sure the eyebrow doesn't go funny. So that looks sort of alright. But the eyebrow might be a bit wonky. It goes up, down. It's like an S shape. So you just might want to get the things in the middle, lift them up slightly, just to sort of even the eyebrow out a bit. And if you want to, you can actually move these down. But it depends on what your eyebrow looks like. So if I do that now, as you can see, the eyebrow is being lifted, but this side is being lifted higher than this side. So it's still the left side still being lifted, but not as much. And as you can see, the skin is stretching around here. If that's the case, just grab the sort of these ones and just lift them up ever so slightly, and that just gives it a little bit more leeway. Same thing with the sort of the forehead. As you see, sort of along this side, I've only adjusted these points. So if I start moving it up, you can see what points are moving. You can just say move these ones up, just I don't know, just a little bit more slightly as well, and then the ones on top. But make them No, I'll turn it off. I didn't do anything wrong. You clicked on it. I'm trying to do a tutorial. So yeah, I've just basically moved the ones above it just a little bit higher, just to sort of make it a little bit more realistic, because it's not just his eyebrow that moves, it's everything else around his face that move along with it. But you get used to that sort of while getting more into the animation side of things with the facial expressions anyway, because it's not just understanding what to do, it's how somebody looks, when they're doing that pose. Now, that's the biggest problem I had when I started 3D sort of like facial expressions, is I didn't know what the hell they looked like when they sort of done that pose, and it can look a bit weird. So So that was his eyebrow done, and you can do exactly the same for the other one. And then you can just right click it. You can't rename it, so just click it once and hit the enter tab and just call it right eyebrow. And you can rename it so you know what you're keeping track of, basically. And what I'll do is I'll just bring the strength down to 1. And then you'll go back onto the base pose and you'll add pose again. And you can make another one. So you can do the right side. I'm not going to go into that, I'm just wasting time basically. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a wink here. Now, I may have to do... My internet's gone as well. That's nice. I don't know how long that's gone for. I'm just going to do a quick eye and then I'll go back to the rest. So basically, I want to click on the tab again, hit the eyes. Now this is a bit more sort of complicated because we're getting sort of really sort of close up with things. But I'm going to try and put it in simplest terms. So when the eye closes, basically the top eyelid and the bottom eyelid come together. So they're going to meet halfway. So if we just sort of grab our points, sort of these 2 points, bring them up sort of to halfway, and then bring the next ones up halfway as well, and basically you're just bringing up the bottom eyelids to halfway. That's what you just want to do first. Maybe the side ones as well. And then what you might see that these bits dip in, so you may need to double check that you've got them, because like I said, if you don't do that it can look a bit stupid. Anyway, so now we've got the thing lifted up. We'll just go ahead and bring the others down, meet halfway. And then, don't worry about the bits at the top. I'll show you what we're going to do with that. Rightio. So we got these now sort of level. It's not all going to look fancy and nice. As you can see here, we don't. This is a bit too low, so we can just bring that out. Sorry, bring that up, level it out a little bit. Just trying to think. This bit's looking a bit weird, isn't it? So we can just lift that up. Maybe lift it. I don't know what we can do here. I've never run into this sort of problem before, but yeah, we'll come across the blue and just lift that up. The blue axis. It's about here. Maybe lift this one up as well. Alright, now that's not perfect, but when we're going to be zoomed out, it's not going to look, much different to if we did it in detail. So as you can see, the eye closes. Now you can keep it like that if you want, but the skin sort of around here will stretch because we've only done sort of just the eyelids. But like I said, if there's big gaps, bring the other ones up slightly. So I'll just get that one and then bring them up ever so slightly. Then probably just get the bottom 3 and bring them up ever so slightly as well. And I'll do that for the top eyelid as well. So just bring these 4 down a bit, and then these ones down a bit. So if I look now, there'll sort of be a bit more control on the eye when he blinks. So basically, part 2 is just going to be how to animate it, maybe something to do with the mouth, and then we'll just finish it up. I'll just go through how to sort of combine animations to make, combine poses, shall I say, to make a different animation, to combine 2 poses to make one a different pose, basically. So I'll just run through that in the next part, but I'm going to stop it now because obviously it's going to fail if I keep it any longer. Don't ask why, but it just does so. This will probably be up the next day. I don't know when I'm going to upload it. Probably tonight. I don't know. But yeah, I'll see you in the next tutorial, guys. Please watch it. It's probably going to be really helpful to you. I hope so, anyway. So like, comment, subscribe, and wait for the next one, which will be out probably the next day or the next few days. Peace.